Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest gaming news, rumors, and speculation. I have some interesting stuff to talk about today. We have some more updates regarding that disgusting Activision and Blizzard situation. Both good and bad updates, I guess, to be precise. And then we got a huge Halo campaign leak, and I am talking huge. This leak is gigantic, and I feel for the devs in this situation because that's just totally gotta suck. So many eggs, so many different kinds of eggs being sucked. What the heck is going on? And also, at the same time, at the end of this video, I do want to cover something else that I am super excited about. An update to a game that I feel is one of the most underappreciated and underrated games within the last couple of years, and a game that sparks the imagination and wonder of space exploration more than any other space game ever has to date, in my opinion. So let's not waste any more time and get to today's information. First off, as the days go on, more and more disgusting facts emerge about the toxic work culture over at Activision Blizzard. In case you aren't fully in the know about all this, I'll do a quick recap before getting to the new information. Keep in mind though, the situation is deep and dark, and I cannot go into all the details here, as there are literally over 15 pages of different just disgusting allegations of sexual harassment, assault, and, believe it or not, even worse. But I will say real quick, not every single studio within Activision Blizzard is guilty of all this, so don't go around trying to bring social justice down on every single Activision Blizz developer. They're not all guilty of this, and obviously the streamers aren't also, so don't go harass like World of Warcraft streamers either, which is actually happening and is equally as stupid. But women were treated horribly at some of the dev studios within Activision Blizzard, to the point to where they were basically stuck working in a literal frat boy toxic work culture where guys would literally drink on the job, make really out there sexual comments towards their female co-workers, share nudes of the female devs around the office without their permission or knowledge, and they literally had a freaking shrine to Bill Cosby for some reason, worshipping his rape allegations. If that just doesn't show you how stupid and disgusting and worthless these individuals are, then just hang on, because it gets worse. They would talk about banging somebody's wife endlessly right in front of her husband, and on top of all this, a female developer who was in a sexual relationship with a male employee who was her supervisor literally killed herself while on a trip with this individual, which, excuse my language here, but that is incredibly fucked, and I just can't fathom how any human being can act this way. Like, my brain can't literally process it. It just breaks my heart to think about. Imagine being a girl who loves games. You just love gaming as much as you or I or anyone else listening to this video probably. And a lot of these developers right now grew up in the 90s, a time period where, unfortunately, if you were a girl, you kind of would just get talked down to by other male gamers, basically not taking you seriously because you're a girl, saying that you're not as good of a gamer or as much of a gamer as other people. You'd get ignored in gaming clubs at school, all the while dealing with, again, the same unwarranted sexual attention. But you remain strong. You try to ignore all of this crap, not wanting to abandon your passion and your interest in gaming because that's what you generally like to do. So you decide to just try to ignore all these people the best you can. You go home, you no doubt are upset and you cry, but you still pick up that controller. And not only that, you decide to go into the game dev industry to learn how to make the games that you love and enjoy. You hustle, overcoming all the idiots in the gaming industry just wanting to talk down to you and hold you back and ignore all of your accomplishments and your hustle, even at college and university. And then after all this, you land your dream job at Blizzard, a studio that is notoriously hard to get hired at, and you overcame so much to make your dream come true, only to find yourself in the same toxic situation you were dealing with your entire life, only much worse. And on top of all this, you have to wake up every day to return to this toxic situation because, after all, you worked your entire life to overcome all the hate to land this job, only to be stuck in the same repetitive cycle. And real quick, I do want to say, people are saying frat boy work culture. Now, I did work as a private chef at a fraternity at a major top 10 university in the United States for years, and these frat frat guys absolutely would have not acted this way. In fact, if a frat person came into the frat house I worked at and tried to act or even say this stuff, the guys would have kicked that dude out so fast. No doubt there's probably some fraternities that are pretty bad, but from my experience, they aren't even nearly as bad as these Blizzard developers. And unfortunately, this horrible, toxic situation is a reality for many women right now in the gaming industry, and it just makes me beyond sick and upset. It makes me embarrassed to be a male gamer, and to be honest, back in the 90s, I would have thought a girl that played games was the coolest freaking person at school, just because of how rare that was back then. And now I'm starting to understand that maybe girl gamers back in the 90s weren't actually rare. They were just scared to be open about their passion, which is absolutely horrible, dude, and it just breaks my heart. Nobody should ever feel this way, especially in regards to somebody that grinded for years to land a job in this industry. And speaking of trying to get a job at Blizzard, another story recently emerged, adding to the hole that Blizzard apparently just wants to keep on digging. They just want to keep on digging the hole. It's like Ed and Eddie over here, just dig a hole, dig a hole. I won't name any victims here to preserve their privacy, but in August of 2015, at a major cybersecurity job conference in Las Vegas, a woman went to the Blizzard booth to apply. Not only was she ignored initially at first, but these pieces of shit literally asked her if she was lost. The job description involved penetration testing, or pen testing as it's called in the industry, a means to test a company's cybersecurity measures. Now, I'm not a cybersecurity expert, so I can't explain what pen testing was, but that basically is what she was interviewing for, and the Blizzard interviewers asked her hollow-headed, stupid-ass questions like, when was the first time you were penetrated? Haha, I'm 11 years old. How often do you get penetrated? Haha, I've never had sex. Oh, do you like getting penetrated? Ha ha ha, I'm gonna be alone forever. She was literally shocked, moved to tears, and had to leave the entire conference. Her moment of working at her dream company, of grinding all those years to finally approach the Blizzard booth and initiate the thing she's been waiting to do forever, was literally shattered and tainted within one single interaction with these pieces of shit at Blizzard. And this was way back in 2015. This stuff has been going on for at least 6 freaking years now, dude. 6 freaking years. I just don't understand it. I don't get how anyone who considers himself a man could do this to somebody at all, especially a girl in this industry. And even on a professional level, someone who clearly is driven and passionate and has worked hard in this industry to get to where they are now, to be treated this way is insane. It's disgusting, and it's unforgivable in every single way. And I hope any dude who partook in this disgusting behavior finds themselves not only blacklisted from the entire gaming industry forever, but also somehow blacklisted from women. Hopefully their dick rots off and falls off from misuse, as that would be the only perfect karma that could happen to these subhumans. Thankfully though, this industry is taking notice, and they are pissed. Blizzard has been actively staging employee walkouts for the last few days, and I'm talking about the devs, definitely not the executives or the corporate side of things. Activision Blizzard executives are simply not taking the situation seriously and clearly are trying to maintain the company image and profits, doing damage control rather than actually putting out a normal, heartfelt human statement that basically any other person would do. Mad respect, though, to every single dev partaking in these protests. Even Ubisoft are joining in, claiming they are not happy with these issues in the industry, and are even going as far as to call out Ubisoft execs as well for mishandling similar situations in Ubisoft's past. It seems like as the days go on, more and more of these horrible details will emerge, but honestly, that has to happen. This needs to happen. All of this needs to be brought up to public light, and creators like myself need to do more to spread awareness about all of this. YouTube even seemingly took my stream down when I was on a rant about this very same thing yesterday, and I hope all of this is the driving factor to finally force some change in this industry so our fellow female, trans, and LGBTQ devs and gamers can feel safe and happy alongside us in this industry. We should pass the controller over to them rather than take it away, because that's just such a toxic mindset. I am shocked at the scale of how sick and widespread this horrible behavior is, and with all of that, I just have to move on to the next topic before I just lose my freaking mind here and go on another rage rant. Let's see if YouTube tries to censor this video too. Next up, on to something much more lighthearted, but still just not super happy times for the game devs involved in this situation. It looks like a huge Halo leak just came out of nowhere. Over 1,200 lines of dialogue are available right now to download and listen to regarding Halo Infinite's multiplayer and campaign. And I mean, this is big. There is a lot of information here involving new gameplay mechanics, characters, and some pretty huge spoilers as well, some surprising ones for those that are in the know about Halo lore. Now, I won't link anything here because I don't want to disrespect the developers in such a way, because they literally asked us to not link these things, but you can easily Google and find this stuff for yourself if you want to, and if you're an asshole, I guess. But don't say I didn't warn you, there are a ton of spoilers here. It does seem, though, that Halo Infinite is focusing on open world aspects, such as outpost clearing similar to Far Cry, possible spaceflight mechanics, and new expanded lore regarding Master Chief and Cortana, and so much more. To be honest, this leak actually gets me a bit more excited for Halo, as the stuff contained within is fairly exciting. I had to look at it for the purposes of this video, which kind of sucks for me, but if you're a big Halo fan, there are some huge spoilers here, but trust me, this game is probably going to be awesome. And the leak is actually confirmed to be real by the literal developers themselves. And they are pretty disappointed about all of this. So if you respect the devs, don't look at the spoilers, or at least don't share them anywhere. It's likely they'll be taken down at some point soon anyway, but who really knows? It seems like they may just be out there now, since they are indeed confirmed to be legit by the developers themselves. It's gotta be disappointing, though, to work so hard on something that you are excited to surprise fans with, only to have Mr. Robot get bored during quarantine and just decide to data mine all of this. That's how it goes, though, I guess. Honestly, it seems like leaks like these are only getting more common since devs started working from home during quarantine. Pretty sure there is a connection to be made here. Maybe the devs know the leaks could be harder to trace, or maybe they're just simply bored out of their mind and wanted to spice their lives up a bit by risking their jobs by leaking something. Obviously, that's not the case here. This information for Halo was data mined, but as I said, there's been a lot of leaks about a lot of games lately since last year, and I think that there's a connection to be made with the pandemic. Either way, like I said, respect the devs. They're the ones working so hard to bring us games like this. And lastly, but definitely not leastly, okay, that didn't work, but anyway, I want to give a huge shout out and spread awareness about Outer Wilds, one of the most underappreciated games of the last 2 years in my opinion. A game which recently had an expansion announced, and it looks super amazing. If you haven't played Outer Wilds, you have to do it, especially if you love space exploration games or games like The Mist. I don't know why I can't say exploration suddenly, but whatever, moving on. But one thing you gotta keep in mind here, though, before you play the game, don't look up any guides or spoilers or even Let's Plays of this game. This is one of the games where you literally have to go in completely blind. Even if you're not sure if you're gonna like it, don't look up Let's Plays. Just try the game. Trust me, you're going to ruin the experience for yourself if you look up any details about this game prior to you playing it. I can't explain why, but it'll make sense once you're in the game. Outer Worlds may not be a game for everyone, though. It doesn't hold your hand with map markers or hand jobs, nor does it necessarily even have combat. But what the game does have is charm, atmosphere, and wonder. The game isn't a realistic space exploration game by any means, but it does touch on quantum mechanics in a very interesting way, and it's a game that makes you think, makes you explore and experiment with different things, and there's absolutely no punishment if you mess something up or get something wrong or can't figure something out quick enough. The game is rewarding, challenging, captivating, and is easily in my top 10 most memorable gaming experiences of all time, even compared to some AAA gaming giants like Mass Effect. This game really reaches within you at an emotional level, and it's kind of hard to explain how it does that without actually playing it. But when you do, and when you finish this game, you seem to have a deeper appreciation of life, of the universe, and even of yourself. Please give The Outer Wilds a try, and don't get it confused with The Outer Worlds. The Outer Wilds is an amazing game, and it's a perfect time to play this game, given that the Echoes of the Eye expansion was just announced. You won't regret giving this game a try. And that's gonna finish up everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. We had a lot of, different things in this video. We had some bad stuff. We had some mediocre, news, kind of neutral. And then we had some good stuff towards the end, but like I said, don't share the spoilers, and if you're going to play the Outer Wilds, don't spoil it for yourself before you do. But as always, what I want to know is, what do you think about everything that I talked about in today's video? As always, let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoy the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, and share my video, share the channel, as sharing content is the biggest way a community can help grow a channel. And make sure you're still subscribed, and subscribe if you're not, because YouTube does randomly unsubscribe people, so even if you are subscribed, check to make sure that you are still subscribed and that the YouTube ghost didn't hit the unsubscribe button for you. And as always, if you want to go above and beyond to support the channel, you can do so over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. It's the end of July, so I am putting up that channel supporter list. I know I keep saying I'm putting it up, but I feel bad because the second I say I'm going to put the list up in my next video, a couple other people support me on Patreon or Ko-fi and then message me and ask me if they're going to get any kind of shout out, and then I have to postpone it, so I'm doing it today. Now it's at the end of the month. I decided at the end of every month I will update the channel supporter list with new people and not take away from it if you have already supported the channel previously. Either way, links for all this and more are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when you better play the Outer Wilds, or I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you!
It just works.